Hey, check these out. This is a cluster of apple blossoms that have lost their petals. You can see that the sepals are left over. That's the part, oh, sorry about my finger in the corner of the screen there. That's the part on the outside of the flower that protects the blossom. But most of those petals have come off, and look at underneath these former blossoms. You can see a bulge. Those bulges are apples. And with any luck, they will continue to develop and they'll be nice and big and juicy in the fall. And I, for some reason, can't seem to zoom out. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to be looking really closely at flowers over the next couple of days into next week. And we're going to be documenting them in our science journals, which you've been working on all spring. I'm gonna walk over to a different tree that has a bunch of blossoms. You've been working on those journals all spring, and you're going to be turning them in the end of next week for a grade. And so don't panic, because you might be thinking, oh gosh, I know that there's some stuff that I didn't put in that journal that I was supposed to put in that journal. I'm publishing a list for you today of all the assignments that asked you to enter something into your science journal. And some of those early assignments were signs of early spring, and you can't really go back in time and find signs of early spring if you didn't do that in the first place. So I'm willing to consider some creativity on your part. If you can come up with something relevant and interesting to replace those slides, I will consider at least partial credit for that portion of the assignment. I'm also posting a rubric so you can see how it's going to be scored, and I'll talk more about that during Hangouts today. So I recommend coming to Hangouts if you have science questions today. All right, that's all I'll say for now. I do have an assignment for you to add to your journal today, and we'll start with some close-ups, some views of flowers on Monday, and we'll dissect a flower next week. So one of the things you can be looking at this weekend, looking for some flowers that you can acquire from your yard or from somebody who's willing to let you have a flower that you can absolutely destroy, because we're going to be dissecting them. We're going to be looking at all the different parts and taking pictures of those next week. Okay, something to think about for next week, but just one assignment today, and come to Hangouts, and then once you feel like you've accomplished what you need to today, you can have a great weekend. All right, we'll see you at Hangouts.